All right. Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to Readings with Rachel. I'm Rachel. I'm so glad you're here. And on this channel, I do tarot. I read the energies for the upcoming week, our time frame ahead, and offer intuitive insight for wherever you're at on your journey. These readings are timeless. So if this found you, trust that you found it for a reason, and maybe there's something in it for you. As always, take what resonates and leave the rest. But yeah, let's see what the cards have to share with us today, and what might be unfolding in the weeks ahead. I was encouraged to start this process, so if you found me, this is brand new. I certainly do readings and offer intuitive tarot readings on the side. You can connect with me in the links below. Today I'm going to be using the Light Seers Tarot deck. I'll show you that in a second. It's a favorite of mine. But if you're able, I invite you to close your eyes and take a couple of deep breaths in and out with me to center yourself, to allow yourself to open and to soften so that we might hear the messages that are coming through today. So, all right, 3 inhales in and 3 exhales out. Invite you to close your eyes. Start to soften, to ground yourself. Inhale in and out. A little deeper. In and out. Last one. In and out. Thank you, Spirit, for joining us in this reading today. May we have eyes to see and ears to hear the wisdom and messages in these cards today. All right, let's begin. I'm going to switch over so you guys can see my handy little desk. Again, we are using the Light Seers Tarot deck by Chris Ann, an amazing deck that gives a lot of hope, inspiration, allows you to see both the light and the shadow and the energies in these cards. And I've very much loved the artwork as well. All right. Let's see what Spirit has to show us today. If you're joining me for the first time, my readings might be a little different. I tend to shuffle the cards, and Spirit through my body tells me when to stop sometimes. So I might make a sound, I might do an activity that might look like a tick. Anyways, it's all very normal for me, and yeah, I'm trying to be brave and authentic and put myself out there for this upcoming 2026 year ahead. If you join me today, I'm recording on New Year's Eve, in fact, for 2025. It's been quite a year. I'm sure it has for all of you. And all right, Spirit, what are the energies coming up for this collective for the 2026 year ahead? Let's see what might be coming up. All right. All right, we have our first card energy. We have the Knight of Swords. That's fascinating. I think the Knights are really, they're the character in the deck that's really about movement and moving forward. And I guarantee you, all of us are eager in my household to kind of end and wrap up the 2025 year and eager to move forward because I don't know about you, but the energy of 2025, numerology is a part of my practice as well. It's a 9-year. 2025 adds up to a 9 and reduces to a 9. And it's really about this kind of need to complete some aspect of ourselves, that we are finishing up a storyline that seems to be ending. And the Knight of Swords here is a really beautiful card about how we are headed in a new path, a new direction. where the pages are kind of this messenger, and the understanding that it might happen. The knights are really actively moving forward towards this process. Swords really speak to the element of air, and so this really encourages us to think more clearly about where we're headed. I'm not surprised for that card to show up for 2026, because I think, we're moving into this energy from the snake in the Asian astrology. We're moving from the year of the wood snake into the year of the fire horse, and that's going from this very kind of deep earthen, slower transformational energy into this need to move faster, this need to move lighter, this need to really push ourselves towards the direction that our spirit wants to head and motivate towards us. This night is a very fast moving night. These things are happening much quicker for us in this upcoming year, 2026 ahead. In typical depictions of this card, he's, the quintessential knight charging ahead. He is in movement. He's going for it. He's going for his passions. He's definitely moving towards that goal. And, normal horse was too fast in this artwork. He's taking flight here. He's got the wings at his back with his arrows, and he's moving in haste. So he's eager to get that energy out, get that moving forward. All right, Spirit, do we have a clarifying card for this, for the upcoming 2026 year ahead? Oof, we have the Tower. You can't make this stuff up. The Tower is a major arcana card. It's number 16 in the deck, and it really speaks to these kind of movements that unsettle us in some particular fashion, in some way. It's the energy of upheaval. It's the energy of this kind of awakening. The fact that it's reversed leads me to believe that maybe you who have found this message might be coming into this awareness of self for you. And this is just going to kind of change your mental clarity on something. Something is completely unearthed. Something is breaking down in the sense that it no longer can be looked at in the same way. Swords can really speak to our beliefs. So maybe this is you coming into this realization that, like, oh my gosh, I absolutely have to change this belief about myself. I can no longer hold this energy anymore within me. And it's just this breakthrough energy of the Tower that creates this feeling of what seems maybe initially like things are dissolving, or the destruction around you is kind of breaking down. Maybe you're losing a job, maybe you're changing a relationship. But this, in a 9-year, and this is all kind of completing, is allowing you to feel that whatever is leaving you maybe was already on its way out. And in this sense, I would encourage you to look at what is left in a new light, and changing what you think about these things, your belief systems, all of these things, in order to really move forward with a lighter touch in this next year. All right, what other challenges might be coming forth? Because the Tower card is one of the hardest cards in the deck, but it being in a reverse position leads me to believe that this is a lot of internal process for you going on right now. It's a lot of mental evaluation. Like, what are you still wanting to hold? What mental stories about yourself, what beliefs about yourself are no longer resonating with you? And this is that time. And obviously, for a New Year's resolution, maybe this is the time to be thinking about these things, to be journaling about it with the sword energy, and writing it out, and understanding and getting a little bit more clarity, cutting away the things that no longer serve you anymore, which is another shadow aspect of the Knight of Swords. He's able to cut things pretty hardcore away from him in order to move faster, to move forward, to move in a way that lightens his load, right? This is something that we have to practice, that we have to do. This is an energy that we have to feel comfortable with as we're doing it, right? Or if we don't, things are going to be broken around us for us on behalf. And that's, that's that Tower card. All right. What kind of additional things might be coming up for us that might prove to be challenging for the 2026 year ahead? Ooh, we have the Star reversed. I don't see this as a challenge. I see this as a call to, as we're reevaluating our beliefs, as we are going through this process of lightening our load for the 2026 year ahead, for the fire horse energy, we're moving forward, right? The Star is another major arcana card. It's a beautiful card about hope. It's about understanding our own inner light and how we're evaluating, our own path forward, and are we aligning to the right path? It's a beautiful card here. She's got, I'll turn this around. She's holding on this rope to a star. She's literally connecting herself to the stars. This might lead me to believe that we're going to be doing a lot of inner work with our own meditative process in a similar way to the Hermit card, which has been coming up for me as well. It's number 17. So it's literally right after the Tower, which these are very connected energies. So after everything has kind of crumbled around us, or is melting around us, or has been upheaved in this moment of the 2025 cumulative year, we are being given inner hope, inner light, inner peace. Ooh, I just had a heart palpitation there. Inner peace and inner light in that process. And so it gives us this challenge to see that, to recognize that within ourselves, to make sure that we are acknowledging the things that we are grateful for, the things that have given us that ability to shine, and to connect with that, to connect with our own intuition, to connect with ourselves in that sense. The Star really is, in a reverse position, it's close. It's something that we have to look at and be able to. I love the saying from Rumi, the Persian poet, that he's like, the quieter you are, the more you can hear, right? So the quieter that we send, in this upheaval phase of transformation that's happening, the wood snake is about transformation. It's about shedding a skin and being kind of reborn in this process, right? So that is very much the Tower into the Star card. We have another major arcana card here, which really does speak to transformation. So we have death and rebirth that's coming out here too, which is also the challenge. We are all, maybe if you found this, going through this phase, and I know it very personally for me too, actually, in this year. I felt it coming. I feel it coming. I feel that it's not quite here yet. And it's this transformation that's happening within us. That's like, okay, whatever has been happening feels really odd. It feels weird. If the energy of 2025 was fast and kind of a little confusing, I feel like it's been in this liminal space, which, goes to show that the astrology that's happening right now between where Neptune and Saturn are beginning to conjoin and finishing up this massive long-term storyline that's been playing out for a really long time. Saturn takes 30 years to go around the zodiac, and he's kind of ending at that last anaretic degree in Pisces right now, that's about to switch over into Aries in February. And Neptune's doing the exact same thing right there with him. And Neptune really speaks to our deep, subconscious patterns. It's that collective mindset of thinking. It rules water, and so it's this subconscious energy that's kind of percolating throughout the collective, right? It's in the water, So this energy that's coming through is Saturn wants to restrict and kind of limit us and push us towards those goals and be that hard taskmaster. But Neptune's right there and dissolving all of the boundaries around us in this process. And so it feels really like it's been a confusing start, stop kind of energy for me over the last couple of weeks. Maybe it has for you too. in any sense, it's been this kind of call to action for me, but also this like, wait, like, you're not there yet. Like, act in this sense of like, trust your own instincts, trust through hope, trust through that emotional awareness that what you are about to embark upon is a pretty major life change. Which the major arcana death and rebirth card really shows to us. Okay, what do we have coming up that maybe is giving some advice? We have the Queen of Swords. I love her energy. She's very, again, we have the swords, which is it's the element of air, which speaks to our mental process first, our internal, our words, our thoughts, how we think about ourselves. Is asking for this to be very careful with our thoughts, right? So when the energy starts to become fast, when we're in the state of manifestation, where we're literally there in this liminal space where we can like think about something and it comes back into our reality pretty quickly, you're in a vibratory state where you're able to resonate with all of those exact same things that are coming in that playing field, right? So it's a reflection. So as we put out that same energy, it comes back to us. So this is a card that's really asking us to be very careful about what we're thinking in these moments, what we're, how we're thinking about ourselves, because queens really represent that kind of self-mastery first, internal process where we are able to be very discerning. And this is advice for us in the upcoming weeks ahead. We might need to be a bit more discerning about what's coming up, about what is being brought into our awareness, the information that's being brought into our awareness. Because again, swords can be dealing with all kinds of news and information. Right now we've got astrologically a lot happening, with Mars and Venus being reset. Mercury's right there. All of them are going to be co-joining together in the sign of Aquarius here in January, at the end of January. I think that that's a lot for us to that's a lot of energy in Aquarius right now. And Aquarius is about the collective and about the people and power back to the people. So we're in this liminal state of redefining what it is that we want for the next couple year, energy for the next couple of months ahead. So any additional advice for the clarification? We have the Eight of Cups that came out, which is asking us to be really... I love this card. This card is a hard card sometimes for me because Eight of Cups represent the element of water, and it really speaks to our emotional state first, right? So as I was talking about Neptune and the deeper subconscious aspects of life, Eight of Cups is really about how we can see all of the stages of whatever journey we've been through. It's about reflection. It's about this infinite energy that eights are really the infinity sign on its head. And so it's about this infinite back and forth between what we are experiencing and the gratitude and also the grief. Like, we can both be thankful for the experiences that we've had, but also grieving for like some of the experiences that we've had. And it's taking account for all of these deeper lessons of life, the shadow side of life, and being able to take that as a point of, when we get to the eights, numerology wise, we're learning these lessons and we're doing the work at that point in time. We've had this kind of patterning from the challenge of the fives to the success of the sixes to the next challenge of the sevens to like go inward and be more spiritual. And then when the eights come, it's this energy of work that has to actually be done. And this is speaking to like more of the shadow work that we have to do emotionally. We have to purge ourselves. We have to be willing to be discerning about like what it is that we're still holding on to. Maybe the things that we are grieving from the year past aren't worth holding on to anymore. And maybe it's time to let certain things go. And we can only do that through this deep kind of reflective work, right? You see the artwork supporting that with just this beautiful fire bowl on the lake, on the pond. But in the distance, there's the sunrise. And I think that there's a lot of hope that can be seen in this card from that. And she's walking away. She's walking away from the fire, right? So she's walking away in kind of this deeper resonant contemplation, for being willing to leave behind the things that are, are distracting. All right. Any other last bit of advice from Spirit? 10 of Swords. We are completing something here, guys. We've definitely coming to the end of the story. We've got a lot of swords. So in this sense, it's about having completion and clarity. As we move, it's a 10 year as we're going into the next year. So 2026 adds up to 10. It reduces down to a 1, which is all about new beginnings. But we can't have a new beginning until we close out something. So astrologically, I feel like we're all kind of wrapping up in this massive closure moment. We've got a lot of the signs and the outward signs all kind of changing. The tower represents Uranus to me, also very much speaks to this kind of last phase in Taurus and this upheaval of energy that's going to be coming into play over the next couple months for us in the years ahead and year ahead. And it's something that we have to look at in this newfound hopeful way, even after having gone through like some pretty hard storylines, which I think a lot of us have over the last year, especially. Be that losing a job, be that losing a relationship, being that losing a loved one, all of these things, these are all a part of the lessons that we came here to kind of sign up and learn that we don't have to keep repeating. Once we've kind of seen all of the shadow sides of these sorts of things, we don't have to keep repeating the same lesson over and over. It can come to a completion. And in that completion, it allows this kind of energy of light and just awareness and self-awareness that we are able to come out of this story at the end of the day and really give ourselves that freedom to move forward. I love the birds in this card. This card actually is a very specific card for me. I see a lot of, sometimes people are scared of this card when they get this card because the traditional imagery is pretty jarring. I would think the swords all patterning 10 swords across someone's back after they've fallen down onto the ground. But in my mind, I also see this card as this kind of like a light activation, right? So once we see the story for what it is in our lives, we're able to take responsibility for it in this sense and then move forward. And we don't have to always see the negative side of that story anymore. It's about seeing the silver lining in all of the things that we do. We've got one that's very, very much wanting to come out here, and it's the third house. So we have card number 41 about communication. We've got a lot of sword energy here. And this is the Star Codes Astro Oracle by Heather Rowan Robbins. I'll put the links and descriptions below, but I was really motivated to pull an oracle card for this reading as well. So when we're looking at the third house in astrology and the zodiac wheel, the third house really speaks to topics of communication, as it says below, but also like our neighborhood, our siblings, our small day-to-day travel, our writing projects, our things that like we communicate with siblings, with friends, with people that are close around us, our inner network of people, right? So when we're looking at the energy of the head, we might be being called to really dig deeper into our network, our community, our friends, our family, our siblings, the people who we call as family and siblings in our lives, the people who are around us. And we might need to be communicating with them more over the next coming year to really shore up your foundation with what that looks like for you. So if you don't have a community yet in your physical reality, I encourage you to do that. I think we're going to all need that this year. We're living in this weird digital age where, if you don't have the people in your physical reality, you're going to be starting to lose touch with that kind of process of life. And I just encourage you to communicate more with the people who you feel are your tribe. And if you don't have a tribe yet, make that a New Year's resolution and a goal. Like that was one of mine a couple years back. I'd moved into a new neighborhood and was struggling to find friends, and made that an intention for that year. And, it bloomed, it blossomed, it changed my life. So, just because you don't have it now doesn't mean that it won't develop over this next upcoming year. And I think that's going to be really helpful for grounding us during what seems to be like a pretty fast moving, fast pace, this kind of upheaval, nonstop energy, start, stop. And then it's like go time when it comes to, February and March, I think. Anyways, I think I'm going to leave this reading here. I hope that this resonated with you. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope this reading offer you clarity and maybe a spark of insight for your path ahead. If it did resonate with you, please like and subscribe and share this reading with friends and family. It really helps support this sacred space, keeps the magic flowing, keeps us growing. And if you like to dive deeper, I offer personal readings and resources through my website, and I'd love to connect with you there. Again, links below. As always, trust your intuition and remember the great words of the Rumi poet that I said earlier today. The more you will understand this aspect of your life, like what you seek is seeking you. And the quieter you become, the more you hear. I hope and wish a beautiful, energetic week ahead, and would love to hear your comments below. Thank you so much.